Hi everybody, so I wanted to give an update on taking the Contrave medication for weight loss. I wrote down some notes, so if you see me looking up, it's because I'm looking at my notes. That way I won't be so and scattered, which I am so scattered. But anyway, so I will be doing a Contrave update, a Real Appeal update, and then also a little bit more information about the Scale Down program. So for Contrave, this will be the end of my 8th week, and so far I've lost 15 pounds. I initially lost a lot of water weight, but I think that the 15 pounds is like solid weight loss. So I think that that's great, despite the fact that I did fall off the wagon a couple times and I did miss a few doses, which I highly recommend that you don't skip doses for whatever reason. If you lose them, obviously there's nothing you can do about that, but if you are moving or traveling or anything like that, make it a point to know exactly where your meds are, because not taking them has been an issue for me, and getting back on them has been a pain in the behind, because it takes you back to when you first started with the nausea and everything. Up until this day, I still have not received any, but I haven't had any vomiting issues, which is great. However, I do experience severe nausea. Thankfully, in this past week, I did have some nausea, but not too bad. This morning I woke up, I'm feeling great. Initially, my schedule was 5:30 in the morning, and then, so taking the medication 5:30 in the morning, and then taking the medication again at 3:30 or 5:30 p.m. Then I decided to switch it over because of the nausea, and I wasn't getting things done because I was so tired and feeling so nauseous. So I switched it over to 7:30 a.m. and I think it was like 7:30 p.m. That did not work. That just made a mess, and I forgot about it, and I would get carried away with my evening things that I had to do, and work became crazy. It just was not good. So I recently got back on the 5:30 a.m. and 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. schedule for my medications. So I would suggest just playing around with what would work best for you, depending on your work schedule, your family schedule. Everyone's different. And seeing, how you feel with the nausea or any other side effects that you may experience. I did have some Dramamine, which helps. Today I didn't have any Dramamine, which was really awesome. But I would also suggest, I think it might have to do with the water, how much water you drink. So now I drink this huge thing of water. Here, I'll show you. This huge thing of water in the morning when I take my first dosage. So yeah, I need to go to the restroom a bunch of times, but it forces me to get my water in and not get dehydrated. I think it helps the liver metabolize it, but I'm not sure. I'm not a scientist or a medical care professional. So if you have questions, I would ask your doctor. Let's see what else. I did say I lost 15 pounds, so I'm excited about that. I will keep doing what I'm doing. I started walking a lot more, and well, at least as of this week, and not exactly watching what I eat, but obviously I'm not eating sweets and I'm not eating high fat foods, but also watching my portions. I'm also really nervous about on the medication it says avoid eating high fat foods for it, and I didn't understand what that was about. I don't know if you guys do. If you do, just comment and let me know. But what I did, when I did some research online, what I found out was that if you take it with a really high fat meal, 2 giant cheeseburgers or something, your medications, supposedly the fat or the oils help the medication break down faster, so it can be a bad thing because it's a higher dose at the same time all at once, so you can get seizures and all of those other things that do not sound good. So definitely do some research or ask your doctor. Next I wanted to talk about was the notice in my depression and anxiety. Obviously Contrave is half or more than half antidepressant medication, and to be honest, I feel like it has made a difference in me, my motivation, my energy. When I was skipping the medications, I noticed that I was feeling less energetic, and I wanted to sleep all day, which is really bad because I work, and I'm supposed to be working. So I force myself, and then once I'm in my office, it's I don't want to do a damn thing, which sucks because I have a lot of work to do. But yeah, so now that I'm back on it, I'm very motivated. I've gotten so much done, and it's awesome. Also with the anxiety, if you have any anxiety issues, for me at least personally, I mean, I know that medication works different with everybody, but the anxiety has really lowered. I used to be like really nervous about almost everything, and now it's not as bad, which is really awesome. Okay, next is, I want to talk about Real Appeal. So Real Appeal, I highly recommend that program. I talked about it a couple of times. Let me know if you have any questions about it. I did forget on my video that I did when I talked about what they sent you. I forgot that they also send you a pedometer, which is really sweet or really cool, because if you don't have like a Fitbit or something else, then it's really helpful to like take your steps. So I wanted to talk about the Real Appeal course. I call it a course because it feels like a course, and because you meet with your coach as a group, so kind of like in a class way, once a week. So for me, it's every Wednesdays, and I just now realized that every week the coach goes over each chapter. So if I would have known that, I would have totally like read up all the chapters before the class, but now that I know that, I will be. So there's really cool stuff about like designing your own meals. This week we went over lose weight without feeling hungry. It talks about like how to know if you're feeling hungry or if you're just thirsty. About like they have little quizzes like what's better to eat, oatmeal or Cheerios. And then they have this cool thing called hunger scale. So number 1 is crazy with hunger. I don't know if you could see. Crazy with hunger. Number 2 is hungry. Number 3 is neither hungry or full. 4 is satisfied. And 5 is too full. So like helps you be more mindful of how you feel. Whether you're hungry or whether you're too full, things like that. So I think it's been really helpful so far. It keeps me motivated. Like, oh, I have that freaking meeting on Wednesday. I need to log my food, or I need to drink my water or something like that. So I think I think it's a great program. I mean, so far so good. You have to excuse me because I'm nervous, talking really fast. So yeah, I highly recommend that program. Let me know if you have any questions about it. Also, please enjoy my awesome onesie from Star Wars. Don't judge me. Okay. What else? Did I mention that you are able to... Yeah. Okay, so you're able to book, I think it's like once a week or once a month, a one-to-one, like a FaceTime meeting with your coach. So that's really cool because if you have any personal questions, you can ask them at that point, and they're really nice about it. At least mine is. Okay, so I wanted to talk about Scale Down just very quickly. Scale Down is a program that they couple up with the Contrave medication, and what they do is they send you a scale, and then you're supposed to weigh yourself every single day, and then it sends you text messages like, oh, you lost 0.5 pounds, good job. Today, focus on drinking more water, or like, oh, you gained 1.4 pounds. This weekend looks like great weather, you should go for a walk, or, you know, stuff like that. For me, it doesn't really work because it feels very impersonal. And then also, like, with the scale, I don't know if any of you have experienced this, but it, like, doesn't give the right reading on the first try, and so the text messages come in and they're like, you gained 5 pounds, and then, like, you weigh yourself again and, like, you lost 5 pounds all of a sudden, so it's not the correct reading the first time, and so the program thinks that you haven't lost any weight, or the opposite. Sometimes it asks you, like, is this the weight that you calculated? Yes or no? But other times it doesn't come up, so it just depends. It's kind of like hit or miss. To sum it up, I really don't like that program. I think the scale is really sweet because it's like digital and it's really fancy and pretty looking, but as far as like my success is concerned, I think that like this is more helpful for me. In addition to the fact that they send you a lot of cool tools on how to lose the weight, like the blender and like the food scale and the course materials and the measurements, and the coach is like always telling you or reminding you like, okay, make sure you take a picture, make sure you weigh yourself, make sure you measure yourself, make sure you're always logging in your food and drinking water. And like during the group sessions we talk about how to better improve that. Like somebody mentioned, because I have issues drinking water too, so somebody else in the class mentioned, I think it would be a good idea to use rubber bands, colored rubber bands, and put them on the water. So like every time you have 8 ounces or whatever, or like if you finish the whole bottle, just put another rubber band on. And then once you have 8 or however many bottles of water you want to drink, then you're good to go. So I think that was an awesome idea. But yeah, good luck with your weight loss efforts, and like I said, like I keep saying, feel free to buddy up with me. We can motivate each other to continue in doing this, and yeah, good luck, and we'll talk to you next week, probably Wednesday or Thursday. Bye.